Buildings that have survived the passage of the centuries continue to fascinate our thoughts because they leave an imprint on the world long after their creators are gone. Buildings, whether they are high-tech and modern or centuries old, show how wonderful a country is. Or was. They are all extraordinarily gorgeous from an aesthetic and historical standpoint. They are all filled of history, stories, and notable occurrences. Hello everyone. Welcome to AWZ. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Egypt's Great Pyramid at Giza. You may debate whether a pyramid qualifies as a structure in the proper sense of the word, but it was built by a human being. Or at least that is what we now understand. One of the 7 wonders of the world, and the oldest and largest pyramid of them all, is the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. The Giza pyramids are among the most well-known structures on Earth. They were built as tombs for the pharaohs of the 3rd and 4th dynasties. Spain's Sagrada Familia is in Barcelona. The Sagrada Familia Cathedral, which located in Barcelona, Spain, wows millions of visitors each year with its imposing architecture. As strange as it may sound, it didn't finish construction until 1882. This Roman Catholic church, designed by Catalan architect Antoni Gaudí, was supported by donations. The Spanish Civil War, in particular, caused a delay in the building. Athens, Greece's Parthenon. Greece's Parthenon serves as a monument to the legendary ancient Greeks. Despite being severely destroyed by an explosion in 1687, it is still a top tourist destination for many people worldwide. Back in 438 BC, the Parthenon was constructed as a temple to the goddess Athena. Rome, Italy's Colosseum. The largest amphitheater the Romans were able to construct, and one of their most impressive architectural feats is the Colosseum, which is located in Rome. It was built between 70 and 80 AD, and gladiator exhibitions, other public spectacles, reenactments, dramatizations of ancient mythology, or public executions were all performed there. The Colosseum is one of the most well-known tourist destinations in the world today, drawing lots of visitors to Rome, Italy. Seattle, Washington, United States, Space Needle. The Seattle Space Needle, one of the most famous structures in the world, was constructed back in 1962 for the World's Fair. The Sky City, a spinning restaurant with an amazing view, is located atop the building. Beyond its aesthetics, the structure is built to endure winds of 200 miles per hour, earthquakes of 9.1 magnitude, and lightning strikes. Despite how delicate it may appear, the structure is actually rather resilient. Italy's Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa has a legendary status. It is well known everywhere, and people all over the world relate to it and its legends. The famous tower in Italy was constructed as a bell tower in the 12th century. As construction progressed until it was ultimately finished in 1372, the building's flimsy foundation began to tilt since it couldn't hold the full weight of the structure. The tower is currently 5.5 degrees inclined and totally stable. Has a well-established reputation. CN Tower, Canada's Toronto. With a height of 1,800 feet, Toronto, Canada's CN structure, also known as Canada's National Tower, is the 3rd tallest tower in the entire world. After completing its construction in 1976, it was used as a communications tower. The CN Tower was given a touristic purpose in addition to its practical one, allowing people to ascend to the observation deck and take in the breathtaking sights all around. On top of that, there is a restaurant that offers mouth-watering fare as well as 360-degree views. Dubai, United Arab Emirates Burj Al Arab. One of the structures that best distinguishes Dubai's skyline is the Burj Al Arab. It is one of the most opulent hotels in the world and the 3rd highest building overall. It was constructed in 1994 on a man-made island in the shape of a ship's sail. The Burj Al Arab is a big and striking structure with 202 opulent suites distributed over 53 stories, 2 renowned restaurants, and a 590-foot-tall atrium. American city of Manhattan, home to One World Trade Center. Who doesn't remember the Twin Towers, which towered over a bustling Manhattan and were featured in nearly every American film and television series. The Twin Towers were replaced after September 11 by the One World Trade Center, which continues to be America's most striking symbol. The 104-story One World Trade Center, which was finished in 2013, has an observation deck with breathtaking 360-degree views of Manhattan, New York. Sydney, Australia's Sydney Opera House. The Sydney Opera House in Sydney, Australia, may not be particularly large or tall, but its distinctive architecture is really astounding. The Opera House, the hub of Australian culture, is renowned worldwide for its unique design of concrete shells. After Danish architect J.R.N. Utzon won a design competition, work on the structure started in 1958. The building includes a recording studio, a concert hall, a play theater, an opera theater, a studio, the Utzon Room, and a forecourt. Additionally, there are 5 restaurants and, of course, the standard gift shops. The Louvre, France's Paris. The Louvre in Paris was once a museum when it was constructed back in the 12th century. It was later converted into a royal house in the 14th century and a royal museum in 1750 by Louis XV. However, after the French Revolution, it underwent yet another transformation into a public museum. The Louvre, which was built in 1988 and is currently one of the most iconic historical landmarks in the world, houses more than 38,000 works of art, including the well-known Mona Lisa. United States Empire State Building. It was formerly the highest structure in the world, and no movie or television show about New York would be complete without it being seen. The Empire State Building, a National Historic Landmark and proudly constructed between 1930 and 1931, is the most recognizable icon of New York. Unfortunately, because of the Great Depression, the building remained vacant for the following 20 years. The Empire State Building has gone through much more in its lifetime than most other monuments to the great American city. Despite surviving an aircraft accident in 1945, gunshots in 1997, and more than 30 suicides, it continues to be a famous architectural marvel. India's Taj Mahal is in Agra. Despite not being the tallest, it is unquestionably one of the most stunning and recognizable structures in the world. The Taj Mahal, also known as the Crown Palace, is one of the modern 7 wonders of the world. It was constructed in memory of Mumtaz Mahal, the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan's wife, who passed away in 1631 while giving birth to the couple's 14th child. The 22-year development process resulted in a spectacular edifice and narrative that annually draws millions of tourists. London, England's Big Ben. The Big Ben, also known as the Great Bell of the Clock, has been one of London's most well-known sights for a very, very long time. It is located north of the Palace of Westminster and is one of the most recognizable emblems of both London and the United Kingdom. Although it is now undergoing restoration, the 1859-built structure will reopen to the public in 2021. The Great Bell weighs at least 13 tons and the tower is 316 feet tall. Eiffel Tower, France's Paris. This is hardly a surprise. Not only is the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, one of the most famous locations and structures on the planet, but it's also one of the most romantic. The Eiffel Tower, which soars above the French capital and was completed in 1889, quickly rose to prominence as the nation's most beloved landmark. This tower was intended as the focal point of the 1889 World's Fair in Paris, honoring the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution and showcasing France's mechanical prowess at the time. It was constructed by Gustave Eiffel Civil Engineering Company in just 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days using roughly 7,500 tons of iron and 2.5 million rivets. The Eiffel Tower has welcomed more than 250 million visitors since its official opening in 1889, and it still receives more than 7 million tourists annually.